couples who whine about each other. Of course, we all know that you don't have to be married to be a couple. Couples can come in all sizes, shapes, and sexes, and they can all be whiners. They can be called significant other, life partner, or just unmarried. No matter what your title, I'm January Jones, and I'm here to help you deal with whining in your relationship. For this presentation, I will try to refer to all relationships as couples or partners. However, I love what Rita Rudner has to say about men. Men who have a pierced ear are better prepared for marriage. They've experienced pain and they've bought jewelry. Or what Helen Rowland had to say about marriage. Before marriage, a man declares that he would lay down his life to serve you. After marriage, he won't even lay down the newspaper to talk to you. As we all know, one of the biggest whines in any relationship is usually about money. Of course, everyone wishes they had more moolah. Who hasn't said, "I need more," or "What did you do with it all?" Lack of money is one of those universal whines that partners young and old alike share. There never seems to be enough money for all the little things required. This has been a problem ever since couples began cohabitating, and it can be especially frustrating for families who bring in two incomes and still don't have enough money. What husband hasn't said to a wife, "We can't afford it"? In my opinion, the only way to deal with this situation is to do the dreaded cut up the credit cards cure. I know this can be a very brutal method to manage your money. The cash-only policy is an effective way to control spending that is too simple and clear to argue against. Basically, when you run out of cash, you stop spending. Obviously, this is not a popular cure for the instant gratification generation. In fact, cutting up cards can be downright hazardous to both your health and your marriage, if both of you don't agree to do it at the same time for the same reasons. Just ask any divorce lawyer about that one. Living together as a couple is always a big compromise. As George Bernard Shaw once said, marriage is an alliance entered into by a man who can't sleep with the window shut and a woman who can't sleep with the window open. In stage one of a relationship, you will often hear, "He or she drives me crazy." This happens because whining about each other is an age-old ritual that is common to most marriages. It is an unavoidable part of most partnerships, and many would even consider it a healthy part. It is also very easy to whine about your spouse to your friends, because most people have the same problems with their spouses that you do. Whining goes with any couple's territory, as spouses tend to develop ingenious ways of irritating each other on a daily basis. What woman hasn't said, "He doesn't help at home"? I highly recommend the go to the couple shrink cure as the most effective way to deal with spousal whining. I know, most couples will respond by saying they can't afford to go for counseling. Well, I'm here to tell you that you can't afford not to go. Believe me, better to give your hard-earned money to a counselor of your choice than the divorce lawyer your spouse chooses. You will know the one who will take you to the cleaners. Now let's go to stage two. Again, I must quote Rita Rudner. "I love being married. It's so great to find that one special person you want to annoy for the rest of your life." Have you ever said or heard, "He's a jerk. She's an idiot"? I guess when couples reach whining of these proportions, it can only be chalked up to the differences between the male and female of the species. Both men and women have their own instinctual approaches to life that are usually the exact opposite. Also, you must factor in the reality that some people are not happy unless they are unhappy. They basically adore disagreeing. Generally, this type of person is attracted to someone who is on the same page. It's their reason for living. Sometimes they'll even say, "I can't talk sense to you." At that point, the only cure would be, let's agree to disagree. This is the only one that works with some couples who simply can't seem to stop bickering, even about the smallest things. Obviously, if you can't agree to disagree, then you will spend the rest of your life arguing with each other. As mentioned above, there are those masochists among us who enjoy such contention in a relationship. But if you find yourself in this type of relationship, don't necessarily relish waging war about every little thing. You better learn to be very quiet. Now here, the best overall cure for whining couples. It's called the echo effect, or return to sender cure. This is an interesting cure. This may not be effective with some couples, since it could possibly be grounds for divorce or murder. It probably would be best used with partners who are much smaller than you. The echo effect, or also known as return to sender, is a simple process of repeating everything the whiner says to you. You must use the same words, the same cadence, the same tone. The results will amaze you. By verbally returning the whine to the sender, you will gradually disarm the whiner. This repetition will annoy the whiner, but it may also open them to the silliness of the situation, leading to a non-stop, ever-escalating volley of quick-served whines. If this procedure is humorously done, it can result in laughter, producing a real bonding experience. But just a quick warning, the return to sender cure, unless employed with all due care, can backfire. It can create two whiners instead of one. This is not good. However, no matter what the status of your relationship is, always remember, whatever you do, stop whining, start smiling, and if that doesn't work, start eating chocolate with your partner. Lots and lots of chocolate.